We are kicking off today with another WWE release as Elektra Lopez is no longer with WWE, and speculation of her exit began when she was quietly removed from the company's active roster last weekend. Now, PW Insider has confirmed that Lopez was part of the latest round of releases that took place on Friday evening after first signing with WWE in 2021 and debuting in NXT. Lopez was part of Legado del Fantasma, but the group was called up to the main roster without her, and she was replaced as the faction's manager. That resulted in Lopez having a singles run in NXT, but after she was called up, she rejoined the group, though the next year would see her make sporadic appearances and rarely wrestle. This main roster role was far less prominent than what Lopez had done with the faction in NXT, and Lopez's release, as with the others, is reportedly due to some spring cleaning. With WrestleMania 41 coming and a wave of NXT call-ups expected post-Mania, WWE is making room for fresh talent, which raises the question as to who could be next. Was WWE right to let Elektra Lopez go, or will they miss out on her potential? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. With that said, the recent wave of WWE releases has led to the breakup of several tag teams and stables. One such stable impacted by these cuts is the Final Testament, which took a major blow over the weekend when WWE released Akam, Rezar, and Paul Ellering, leaving the group reduced to just Karrion, Kross, and Scarlett. With the faction now in shambles, unless WWE recruits new members, there may be little reason to keep it going. Even if WWE decides not to continue the stable, with Kross already setting his sights on Sami Zayn, it's high time he receives a proper singles push. The same can be said for Scarlett, who could shift her focus towards a singles career in the women's division. Adding to the uncertainty, PW Torch suggests that Bruce Pritchard and Triple H are not particularly high on either Karrion Kross or Scarlett. Reports indicate that they, along with Apollo Crews and Braun Strowman, could be next in line for releases. We sincerely hope these speculations just remain rumors and that WWE finds the right way to utilize these talents rather than cutting them from the roster. Meanwhile, in the women's division, Isla Dawn's departure leaves her former tag partner Alba Fire at a crossroads. Once the face of NXT UK's women's division, Alba could now receive a much-needed singles push. WWE must remain committed to her growth and ensure she gets the spotlight she deserves moving forward. Another stable affected by these roster cuts is Pure Fusion Collective. Sonya Deville, who had been a key part of WWE Monday Night Raw since last year, returned from injury and formed the faction with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. As a trio, they were dominant, but they ultimately failed to capture championship gold. Unfortunately, Sonya Deville was among those confirmed to be leaving the company soon. While she wasn't part of the official releases over the weekend, PW Insider reports suggest that WWE has informed her that she will not be re-signed once her contract expires. With Sonya's impending departure, Zoe and Shayna now face an uncertain future as a duo. Losing the group's most prominent voice could leave them in a tough spot unless they recruit a new member. If WWE fails to come up with something substantial for them, both Baszler and Stark could find themselves in troubled waters. At the end of the day, WWE's handling of its remaining talent will determine whether these changes lead to exciting new storylines or simply missed opportunities. One thing is certain, fans will be watching closely to see how the company moves forward. Since AEW was founded, the company has become a home to many names released from WWE, giving these ex-superstars another chance to shine on a major TV show. With WWE's recent cuts, fans have been speculating about who AEW could reach out to in less than 90 days, but JBL believes talent shouldn't wait around for Tony Khan to call. On the Something to Wrestle podcast, JBL reflected on the recent cuts and singled out the Good Brothers as guys who are going to be fine, and he's excited to see what they do next. Reflecting on his own experience with releases, JBL said talent have one of two options. They can either sit around and hope Tony Khan calls, or go out and make a name for themselves. The Texan argued that there's never been a better opportunity in wrestling to do the latter, and hopes that this is the path all wrestlers released from WWE this month decide to take. Wrestling certainly has plenty of options for released talent, including AEW, TNA Wrestling, GCW, a promotion in Japan, or working the independents to develop a wider fan base. For those cut from WWE, the choice is one only they can make, but JBL remains confident that those cut will have all the tools to succeed now that their days as superstars are over. This past weekend, the Super Bowl took place, and in the past, several wrestlers and names associated with the industry have attended the big game live. This year's game proved to be no exception as wrestling names flocked to the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, including ex-WWE chairman Vince McMahon. The billionaire was spotted but looked practically unrecognizable as he traded in his business suit for a more down-to-earth look and also looked noticeably slimmer. McMahon wasn't the only name from wrestling, as The Undertaker and Shane McMahon also attended, and it's been reported that the three attended the event together. The Bella Twins also attended the game and were spotted with Britt Baker, who hasn't appeared for AEW since November of last year. As for McMahon, it's become a rarity to see the former WWE head honcho in public over the past year, as the Janelle Grant lawsuit against him continues to weigh on his legacy. Grant's attorneys claimed that she was sent to a clinic in 2019 under McMahon's instructions to receive treatments that Janelle was not properly informed about. While Dr. Coker, who is named in the lawsuit, denied the claim, a new filing by Grant's team made last week claimed that Coker admitted that McMahon paid him to be her doctor. McMahon will continue to battle Grant's lawsuit as well as the Ring Boy lawsuit against him, Linda McMahon and WWE, making his Super Bowl appearance all the more surprising. At the 2025 Royal Rumble, commentary confirmed that Jordynne Grace is officially part of WWE after signing with the promotion, but that arrival didn't come without sacrifices. During a Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp was asked if Grace had to give up any other income sources to make the move to WWE and explained how this is the case. He said, "If you mean her OnlyFans, she shut that down several months ago. She effectively took a pay cut in order to join WWE. She'd become a millionaire at one point outside of WWE." This is quite the revelation, especially with many modern-day wrestlers capitalizing on content platforms like OnlyFans or Cameo to supplement their income. Grace was reportedly earning big money but chose the stability and long-term opportunity that a WWE contract provides, and WWE has a complicated history with these platforms. In 2020, WWE cracked down on talent earning money on platforms like OnlyFans and Twitch, and Zelina Vega was released minutes after sharing support for unionization. This earned a backlash from fans, especially as The Undertaker was allowed to continue to do cameos, and Vega, who'd been earning well on OnlyFans, was brought back in 2021. As for Grace, her WWE deal is not small, as her 5-year contract will keep her around until 2029, and she'll be paid on a main roster level contract despite starting in NXT. WWE is expected to fast-track her to Raw or SmackDown, meaning the pay cut she took to become a superstar may only be temporary as she climbs the ranks of her new home. With dream matches against Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair now a possibility, Grace clearly sees the bigger picture. But was it the right move? Let us know in the comments. For several months in 2024, Karrion Kross and his Final Testament faction feuded with the Wyatt Six before the storyline was eventually scrapped. The Wyatt Six have vanished from WWE programming, a surprise to many given their high-profile arrival last year, and many are pointing the finger of blame at Karrion Kross. A Wyatt Six fan account on Twitter shared a slowdown video clip from December showing Kross executing a move on Dallas, which resulted in Dallas landing hard on his shoulder. The fan blamed Kross for injuring Dallas, who was quick to deny the accusation, as he said, "This is completely untrue. We all miss him at work, but the reaching and promoting of BS, please be better than this." Bo missed a Royal Rumble photo op with the Wyatt Six, which led to speculation that he was hurt, but PW Insider's Mike Johnson reports that he was never scheduled for the photo op. Johnson also confirmed that Dallas is not currently traveling with WWE, verifying that he is sidelined due to a legitimate injury. The Wyatt Six last appeared on TV during the December 23, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw, where they were involved with the Final Testament to end their angle. With the fans eager to see Bo Dallas recovered, it remains to be seen what's next for the group, especially after the recent move to SmackDown. Do you believe Karrion Kross is unfairly blamed for Bo Dallas's injury, or do you think there's more to the story? Share your thoughts in the comments. It was on the January 20th, 2025 edition of Raw that Dakota Kai suffered a reported concussion during a tag match pitting herself and Io Sky against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Fortunately, this injury did not require any surgery, and now fans can expect to see the former Women's Tag Champion back on WWE programming. PW Insider reports that Kai has been medically cleared to return to action, and in a Twitter video, Raw GM Adam Pearce confirmed that she'll be a part of tonight's episode of Raw. Kai's career has been plagued with injuries and setbacks, including a torn ACL in 2023 that kept her out for months, and a torn meniscus suffered last year. After this concussion, one can only hope that Kai can keep off the injured list going forward, as she and Damage Control aim to continue to establish themselves on the Red brand. Over to AEW Collision, as the latest episode saw the return of Luther, who made an impact by delivering a gift to Mariah May, which proved to be the perfect setup for Toni's Storm. May made quick work of her opponent, who bore a striking resemblance to Storm, when Luther arrived with a box and presented May with a shoe, Storm's weapon of choice. As the Women's World Champion was processing what she was seeing, she turned around to find that her opponent had vanished and Storm was standing in her place. Before May could react, Storm attacked and laid out the Women's World Champion, and Luther and Storm embraced to confirm that the Butler is on her side in time for Grand Slam Australia. Mind games are in full effect ahead of May and Storm's showdown down under, and was this the edge Storm needed to win the title again, or will May have the last laugh? Sound off below. Collision also saw the return of Hologram, who was shown in a vignette walking down a street before waving his arms to open a portal and jump straight in. The screen then cut to black before the words "Upgrade Complete" appeared, and not only did Hologram resurface in the arena, but he backed up Commander to help take down LFI. Hologram had been away since Wrestle Dream due to an injury, and what do you make of his return, and what do you want to see next for him? Let us know down below. Now, Luchasaurus has been absent from AEW TV for months due to severe health issues, including collapsing in his home back in September because of low blood oxygen levels. At the time, doctors hoped he'd recover and wrestle again, but his return was still uncertain, especially after it was confirmed that he had been hit with pneumonia in both lungs. Fortunately, there's now been a positive update as a Twitter user recently shared photos from the Toy Toy Show over the weekend, which saw Luchasaurus in attendance. The former TNT champion was there alongside Danhausen and Sky Blue, and according to the fan who shared the photo, Luchasaurus said he was doing well. Luchasaurus' most recent match was in August's Casino Gauntlet at All In 2024, and while it's still hard to say when he'll be back, it's great to know he's doing much better. At Grand Slam, the AEW TBS Championship will be on the line as Mercedes Moné has accepted the challenge from Australia's own Harley Cameron. On Collision, Moné crashed Cameron's live concert segment, the latest taunt from the Aussie, and the pair didn't hold back with some verbal shots at each other. Cameron would lay down the challenge for the match, one that Moné accepted without hesitation, giving Cameron a chance to win the gold in her home country. With that said, the CEO has proven to be a dominant champion and would love to spoil Harley's homecoming. And who do you see winning this match? Let us know in the comments. Video game news now as WWE 2K25 is set to release next month, and here's everything you need to know about the latest installment in the WWE 2K franchise. 3 editions of the game will be released, with the standard edition featuring Roman Reigns on the cover launching on March 14th and will cost $69.99 to purchase. The Deadman edition will be available on March 7th, 1 week before the standard edition, and the cover will feature The Undertaker and cost $99.99. The Bloodline edition will also be playable on March 7th and will have a cover featuring both the OG and new Bloodline, and will set players back $129.99. Players who pre-order any of the 3 editions will receive the WWE 2K24 cross-gen base game digital version, and the game will be on PS4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PCs via Steam. The game will feature a special Bloodline showcase, allowing wrestling fans to have some of the biggest fantasy feuds play out, as well as relive iconic matches. The mode will be hosted by Paul Heyman and will feature the likes of Roman Reigns, Yokozuna, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and several other members of the Anoa'i family. Dream matches between Bloodline members and other WWE legends will offer a what-if element to the game, giving fans a chance to play out matches they'd never get to see in real life. WWE 2K25 is shaping up to be another blockbuster game in the franchise, and what match will you play first when the game is available next month? In the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, Trish Stratus made a return to the ring, marking her first match since battling Becky Lynch in a steel cage at Payback 2023. Stratus entered at number 25 and lasted over 13 minutes before being thrown out by Nia Jax, and with this year marking 25 years since Stratus' WWE debut, big things are in store for the Canadian. Fightful Select reports that WWE's creative team has been receiving pitches from Stratus and that she is constantly being discussed for potential appearances. Sources expect Trish to be involved in the lead up to the WWE Elimination Chamber, which will take place in her hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. With Stratus showing very little to no ring rust in the Rumble, fans shouldn't count out seeing her back in the ring in the near future, as the Hall of Famer can clearly still go with the current roster. Whether it's a match or merely an appearance, Trish could be back on our screens in the near future, providing plenty of satisfaction for fans of the Canadian legend. Are you excited to see what Trish does next in WWE? Who would you like to see her face if a return to the ring happens? Let us know down in the comments section. Back to Collision, as there was an unfortunate botch by Toni Schiavone during the latest episode of the show, stemming from a backstage segment with several wrestlers. During the segment, Lance Archer and Brian Cage wreaked havoc and were seen attacking John Cruz and others on the roster. While they were attacking, though, Schiavone mistakenly referred to Lance Archer as Lance Storm, the WCW ECW WWE star who retired from full-time action decades ago. Nigel McGuinness caught wind of the error and corrected Schiavone, and while Schiavone is an established name in commentating, he is only human and is capable of making mistakes. Botches like these are rare, but they do happen from time to time, and we imagine Schiavone will be a bit more careful the next time Lance Archer is on the screen. More Dakota Kai news, and not only will she return tonight, but it's been confirmed that she and Io Sky will face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, a match that hasn't sat right with Shayna Baszler. On Twitter, Baszler said Damage Control were being rewarded and suggested that if she or Zoe Stark were as fragile as Kai, they'd be getting more opportunities to compete on TV. This tweet spawned several responses, with one saying it'd help Baszler if she can get the crowd to make a noise, and Baszler fired back, saying the fan isn't even successful at Twitter. The fan hit back saying Baszler is proud to spend your career as a jobber, before the fan quipped that, "I actually like to achieve things in life." Baszler responded by pointing out that she and Stark are both former champions and she has records to her name, while the fan has barely achieved double digits on Twitter. Baszler is ruthless in the ring and on social media, and she and Zoe Stark are hungry for more opportunities on TV, especially above the fragile Damage Control. And we're ending with the Super Bowl, as San Francisco 49ers star George Kittle recently sat down with Yahoo Sports NFL and shared that he'll be at WrestleMania 41 this April in Las Vegas. Not only did Kittle confirm his presence at the show, but when asked if he could join WWE full-time once his NFL career is over, he teased exactly that, saying, "Triple H has my number." Kittle is a known wrestling fan and has even thrown up Penta's Cero Miedo taunt after big plays, and after getting physical at WrestleMania 39, the 49er is heading to the show of shows.